Josh, real quick, man, for people who, I mean, it's pretty well known you work with ball pythons, right? So, but how long have you been established as J Royals for now?
I came up with that name, J Royals, in I think it was 2014 or 15.
2014. Okay.
I think that's when I actually came up with the name for that. That was my, just like Ozzy, that was my little handle or screen name on the Bush League.
Okay.
And then I just went with that.
What's the Bush League, if you don't mind? I don't know what the Bush League is.
The Bush League was the BLBC. It was the forum website back in 2009, and then diminished around 2014 with the Facebook and shit like that taking over ball python shit.
Damn, so some serious OG shit, like prior. This is way pre-Facebook or Instagram, which is pretty. I respect that shit, man, and that's what's awesome. I knew your track history goes back that far. So let's go back a little further. How long have you been working with ball pythons for? How long has this been a thing for you?
Oh man, well, I mean, I had my first ball python when I was probably like 13 or 14, with like some Burmese and some other things, probably in the late 90s. Of course, I couldn't afford any more, so no one really knew what they were, and I was in and out buying snakes, living a different life, not really, trying to breed anything. But in 2006, I really became obsessed with ball pythons, and I was at the Ralph Davis page, and looking at Nerd every day, going to the Ralph Davis clutch record and hit refresh, and then wake up and hit refresh, and an hour later hit refresh.
Damn.
And I think it was the end of 2009 where I said, I'm gonna start buying these things. So I bought my first ball python with the plans to breed in the end of 2009.
Dude, Ralph,
I bought a bumblebee. I went all in, big money, $600 bumblebee, baby. Male too, exactly what you're supposed to do.
Damn. So a male bumblebee in what year? 2006. I'm sorry. What year was this?
2009, 2010, 650.
Now dropping $600. That was the biggest purchase ever on a snake, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Still
it?
got him.
Wow, that's player.
Still got him.
Respect. I love that.
He ain't going nowhere.
That's hard. Now, that was the biggest purchase at that point. That was your first, here's my investment, $600.
Yeah, I mean, people thought I was crazy when I was 15 and I spent $200 on an albino Burmese. That you get the money, cut the grass, get a little job. But yeah,
right.
650 sounded nuts. And at that time, I didn't think I would ever spend, and I didn't even spend 650. I think I only bought that male for like 400, but most of them were around 650 at the time. And that was way beyond what, I shouldn't have got a male first, but it was a bumblebee, and I've always wanted one,
Right. Yeah, I can tell you right now, bumblebee is one of the fucking first thing that blew my mind when I first got in it. I mean, I only got in it in 2016. That's when I started looking at morphs, but fuck, I'll never forget bumblebee, man. That's that thing really, I didn't think it got any better than that. I remember when I first saw bumblebee, I was like, well, that's has to be the coolest thing ever. Wrong.
Yeah. But set it off.
Dude, fucking
it helped set off the whole hobby. It was the first combo.
Right. So the bumblebee led to what? Let's say you got the bumblebee, and then do you recall what that led into as far as projects or,
The bumblebee led to, 3 normal females and a pastel and a cinnamon and a black pastel and a lesser. And, at the time when you make, 300, 400 a week and you don't have any extra money, you drive without car insurance, you eat ramen noodles, and you buy what you can.
Yeah, you make it work. I mean, it's crazy you say that because fuck, dude, man, I came from quick money, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm from San Diego. There's hustles, there's way to make quick money, and then that was just a lifestyle I didn't want to live no more. Got into snakes, and snakes obviously cost money, especially the fucking shit the shit you start dabbling into, right? But I mean, I just remember, like you said, there were sacrifices I made to get fucking snakes. Like, I'm talking about, I went from having a social life to no social life, and everything was all about snakes. And if I had it was wild, bro. If I had to just eat fucking burrito, bean and cheese burritos for the week, it is what it is. I just made it happen. People people look at my collection thinking I'm a baller or shit, and I'm not. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not a baller. Like, I just figured shit out, and things just land in your lap. You know what I mean? If you're really meant for shit. But oh man, so okay, so the bumblebee. When did breeding become something that you were like, all right, like, you know, you started doing? Like, when did breeding start happening for you? At what year?
Well, I paired that bumblebee, I think it was 2012 or 20. I hatched my first clutch in 2013. Actually, I did not hatch it because I cut them. They didn't hatch. I just cut them and opened them. So, yeah, that was my first year producing ball pythons.
And you said you didn't let them hatch, you just cut them open?
Yeah, back then, that's what we all did, right?
At what day? What day was this? Like, was it like a certain day where you cut them open?
52, 55. Yeah, it was my first year. I don't know what I'm doing.
Wait, so you don't cut now? Now you just let that shit happen on its own?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I cut like a motherfucker, bro.
I'm a grown-ass man, son.
Damn, so I'm a child for cutting?
I'm just fucking with you, man.
Damn, no, that ain't what it is. Respect, bro. I'm talking to an OG.
Nah, I'm just stabbing. We can have fun.
No, hell no, all day. But really, you're against cutting.
No. I think everyone kind of has like a line they'll draw in the sand of morality, right? So we can sit here and cry about cutting and not cutting. A vegan comes in here and slaps us both for taking these animals out the wild.
100%. Either way. True.
Either way, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, that's true. Facts on that. No matter what you do, there's somebody out here who just want to rip these things out of our hands. So can't even argue that. All right, man. So back to the breeding projects and shit, man. Oh, man, I gotta say, Josh. I mean, like I said, I haven't been in it too long, but your account has stuck in my head since I came across it at least a couple years ago, right? And your presentation, man, your fucking flooring, your cages, professional as fuck. And I mean, that's what stands out to me, man. And I have to say, good job on that. But at what point did it get to that level? Like, because buying those racks aren't cheap. You know what I mean? That's some good racks. So, and that's a whole nother investment. So, at what point were you able to invest in shit like that and get where you're at right now with what you have?
That would be when I discovered my own gene and sold that one. So the acid gene is all of this. The acid gene is in that floor. It's in all these racks. It's in this shirt. It's in everything.
Are we going to talk about it already? I mean, we ought as well. I don't give a fuck.
And you asked.
Yeah. Dude, okay, real quick.
That's all I got.
The acid, bro. This motherfucker created the acid gene. That is so savage. Which we're going to have to dig deep about this acid gene and whatnot. So how we feel memory-wise. Are we able to start from the fucking chapter 1 on this acid gene, on how you discovered it and whatnot? Because I got to know, because this shit's in a clown. So you've been doing this. Acid's been around from what I've seen. So tell me.
Yeah, I remember everything. What do you want to know? So, everything from the beginning?
Where'd it come from?
A place called kingsnake.com.
Okay, so what were the intentions? How did it happen? Let's start from the beginning. You went to kingsnake.com.
All right, so remember I bought the bumblebee. I bought the normals and the cinnamons and shit. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna breed my bumblebee to my lesser, and I'm gonna make queen bees that are $3,500 because that's what they're listed at. And then of course, by the time my lesser is up to size, I'm like, something needs to change here. I need to either somehow invest money, or I need to somehow find a new gene. There's only 2 real ways to really make it, and that's either start with a ton of money or start with something that's worth a ton of money. So since I ain't got no money, I went on I became like a crackhead looking for dinkers and morph, and I became really affiliated with all the other little dinkers that never proved out and all the little deformities that make something look different. And I downloaded every picture I could find of anything that looked strange. And I just kept going to every single site I could go to and search dinker or captive hatch or, whatever they call them, And then one night at midnight, around maybe 1:30, I saw an ad on King Snake that had only been up for about 1 or 2 hours. And he was selling his whole collection. It was like a couple het hypos, 3 dinkers. King Snake gives you 3 pictures. I saw 1 picture and I was like, I've never seen anything like that before. I don't care if it proves out. I don't care. I don't care. I'm getting that snake and I'm going to see what happens. and I called that guy, and I bought that snake that day and quarantined it. And I looked at it. I thought it was amazing, and I was like, man, why did you sell this to me? How did you even get this? He said it was imported from Africa. And I'm like, well, why did you sell it to me? He's like, well, it doesn't eat, it doesn't breed. Came to my house, slammed 3 rats, locked up with an albino, 2014 with my first acid clutch. I proved it out by breeding it to an albino. At that point, I thought money was going to fall from the ceiling. No money came down. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody was going to break out any money.
Well, what year was this? I'm sorry. What year was this again?
This is 2014. And at this time, MJ, man, I don't even have a Facebook account. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have an Instagram. I don't even think I've made an account on the forums.
I don't even remember. When did Facebook really start? Do you recall? Do you remember when you got a? I think I was like